So why was the year 1962 so important? Well, in history, we saw John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, take flight. We saw the release of the Beatles' first hit, Love Me Do. And we also lost an American celebrity icon from Hollywood. But in the world of baseball cards, 1962 signified the year of the first multiple rookie cards with the inclusion of the Rookie Parade subset in the 1962 Topps baseball card set. Prior to this, true rookie cards only featured a single player, and sometimes it was confusing for collectors to signify what was a player's true rookie card. Throughout the years, Topps would continue to produce rookie cards featuring multiple players on the same card. Some of these rookie cards featured some of the greatest players in the history of baseball, including many, many Hall of Famers. But this series is not about those players. This series is about the players featured on the card with these iconic players. Just about everyone who knows baseball knows the name Cal Ripken Jr. Ripken Jr., who came from a baseball family, would become one of the greatest shortstops to ever play Major League Baseball. But what about Bob Bonner and Jeff Schneider? Whatever happened to the men who share the iconic 1982 Topps card, Orioles Futures Stars, number 21, with Ripken Jr.? Google the name Jeff Schneider, baseball, and you'll find a direct hit to Cal Ripken trading cards almost immediately. Schneider's Wikipedia page actually doesn't even have a picture of himself, but instead actually has a picture of Ripken and talks about Cal in Schneider's bio. Schneider, a tall, lanky left-hander pitcher, was born and raised in Iowa, attending both high school and college in Iowa. He was originally drafted by the Cubs in the 18th round in the 1970 draft. He opted instead to enroll at Iowa State University and pitched 3 seasons in college before the Texas Rangers drafted him in the second round in 1973, but again, he chose not to sign. I would only assume that Schneider wanted to finish his education before pursuing a professional baseball career, and eventually he wound up signing with the Phillies in 1974 as an undrafted free agent. After college, he spent 5 seasons in the Phillies minor league system before being selected in baseball's Rule 5 draft by the Baltimore Orioles. He spent 1979 to 1981 in the Orioles AA and AAA affiliated teams before being called up to the majors on August 12, 1981, where he would appear in 11 games for the Orioles, ending the season with the major league club. One of the most notable moments in Schneider's career was when he was part of the longest game, a 33-inning AAA game that took place on April 18, 1981, and was suspended shortly after 8 hours of play at 4:09 a.m. on April 19th on Easter Sunday. The game would eventually be resumed on June 23rd, and took approximately 18 minutes to complete in front of a sellout crowd. The original game on April 18th, Schneider came into the game as a reliever in the 8th inning. He would pitch 5.1 innings, not surrendering a run, giving up only 2 hits, and striking out 8. During the offseason, before the 1982 season, Schneider was traded along with Doug DeCensis to the California Angels for Dan Ford. Schneider did not break camp with the Angels in 1982 and again found himself in AAA. He spent 2 more seasons with the Angels' AAA affiliate before signing a 1-year deal with the Blue Jays. After not getting a call-up to the majors from the Blue Jays, Schneider retired after the 1983 season, focusing on his education, family, friends, and new job. I could find very little information about Schneider post-playing career. The only thing that I could find was that he currently lives back in the Midwest in a small rural town in Illinois. Robert Bobby Bonner was a unique player in the fact that he was drafted 3 times in the Major League Baseball player draft. The Texas native was drafted in 1974 by the Expos out of high school, but opted to attend Texas A&M University. After his junior season, he was drafted again by the Royals, but chose to stay for his senior season at A&M. After compiling a solid career at A&M over 4 seasons, the Baltimore Orioles drafted Bonner with the 3rd round selection. After signing with the Orioles, Bonner, also a shortstop like Ripken, spent 3 seasons in the minor leagues before getting a call-up to the majors on September 12, 1980 with the Orioles. In only 4 games and 4 at-bats, Bonner never got a hit and returned to AAA in 1981. He would find himself along with Schneider and Ripken in the longest game. During the 81 season, he was recalled to the big club in Baltimore and appeared in 10 more games. 1982 found the budding Ripken making the major league team and Bonner back at AAA. Between 1982 to 1984, Bonner shuffled between AAA and the majors, finding himself without a place in the Orioles organization after the end of the 1984 season. This is where Bonner's story truly becomes an amazing story. After his time in baseball, Bonner, who was now teaching at a Christian school, found his true calling, and that was doing missionary work in Africa with his wife, sharing the Word of God. He spent 26 years living in Zambia doing his missionary work. After returning to the United States, he founded the organization of International African Missions, or IAM, where he continues to work and serve as president for this organization to this day. He also is an associate pastor in a Baptist church just outside of Kansas City, Missouri. Bonner has said in interviews that baseball was only part of his life and that his true calling was delivering the message of God. If you are interested in his missionary work, the link will be posted below for further reading, and it is also credited in many of the photos that I'm sharing during this presentation. It should be noted that years later, Ripken found out about how Bonner actually was not recognized as a member of the '83 World Series Orioles team because of his exclusion on the World Series roster. Bonner suffered an injury in late 1983, and because he was not at 100%, he was excluded from the roster. He did not join the team during the playoffs and ultimately returned home for the series with a promise that he would get a ring if they won. The Orioles won the series, and Bonner never received a ring despite appearing in 6 games during the season in 1983. One more neat piece of research that I found about Bobby Bonner was actually about his granddaughter, Elena Berry. Miss Berry, who credits her ability on the diamond to her grandfather, in 2019 became the first female softball player ever depicted on the famous Big League Chew bubblegum product. She was the inspiration for the artist on the cover of Big League Chew. This is definitely something that Bobby Bonner definitely has to be proud of, as you can see from the excitement of an event held earlier this spring in Rochester, where Bobby and Elaine attended, and where Bobby is enshrined in the Red Wings Hall of Fame. So what is the card actually worth in today's market in 2019? An ungraded copy of the rookie card can easily be found for around only $15 to $20 depending on condition. However, if graded cards is your interest, a PSA 10 Gem Mint 10 card can easily sell from an amazing $650 to $1,000. So both Jeff Schneider and Bonner can both say their rookie card, graded Gem Mint, is worth at least $650.